even though things get hectic and get very stressful, you got to continue to persevere. You got to continue to hold on. You got to trust God. You got to have faith. You got to keep your eyes on God. Don't focus on the things in the world, because that will definitely cause all kinds of stress and all kinds of thoughts and negative things in your head. Focus on the things above and God's promises and what God can do for you. Allow God, stop striving and allow God to be the potter as He is, the creator, and let Him take you as the mold and let Him remold you into who He called you to be. You're going to go through difficult times in life regardless of the circumstances, but if you just allow Him to mold you, and as He molds you, you're gonna have, struggles. You're gonna have, spiritual warfare. You're gonna have all of these things that you feel like are rising up against you. And the reason why is because, look, you got to think about it. You came from your mother's womb, right? So when you were born, someone had to teach you, someone had to raise you up. So the only thing that your mother and your parents could give you is what they had. And what they had is what they've known from their parents, because whatever their parents had, their parents gave to them, and it was passed on through genetics, through generation. So now that God has chose you for such a time like this, He's choosing you to break these generational curses. So now He has to remold you and take you out of those ways that they raised you up to be, and you're feeling the pains, you're feeling the chaos rising up. It's gonna feel like all these attacks and everything are coming and everybody's turning on you, but really all it is that He's molding you and He's creating you and bringing you out of that genetic. He's bringing you out of that generational curse that your mother's parents gave her, because somebody had to raise you up, right? So the only thing that they could give you is what they knew and what they had and how they were raised up, right? So now that He wants to be the one to raise you up, for you to be reborn, for Him to give you the life that He really called you to be, He has to remold you. He has to break you down and destroy all of these bad habits and all of these ways and all these generational curses that came from the ways of your parents because of the way they were brought up. And He's using you to break these curses. So now that He is your Father, and He's always been your Father, He's showing you, my son, my daughter, this is the true way. This is the way that your mother nor your father knew how. Your mother and your father only knew what their parents knew, and their parents only knew what their parents knew. And now that a time like this has come, I have chosen you out of all of them to break these generational curses, to break these bondages, to break these yokes. So you're going to go through the struggle. You're going to go through the pain. You're going to go through the suffering. It's almost like if you're giving birth to everything new again, and you're having contractions, and you're going through this phase in life as He breaks down all of these bad habits. All of a sudden you have different cravings. All of a sudden you're speaking different. All of a sudden you're moving different. All of a sudden your friends are changing. Some are leaving and new ones are coming. That you're seeing it with your own eyes. So don't be afraid, don't give up, don't throw in the towel, because just know that as He's breaking all of these old habits and transforming you to be a new version of yourself, of who He called you to be, He's helping you to be your true authentic self. He's getting you into a stage of life where you're vulnerable, where you're not afraid to share your story. You're not afraid to share your past. You're not afraid to share what He brought you out of, because this whole time He was writing your story. This whole time He knew your future. This whole time He knew the plans that He had for you. He knew that He selected you. So allow God to be God. You just continue to seek Him. You just continue to grow in Him. And the more that you do that, you are going to see that all of this is going to fall into place, and it's all going to make sense. You are strong, and you are built to withstand this.